Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the training program on design of steel structures and its connection using STAAD.PRO, Idea Statica, and Excel. This is the demo session where we will understand regarding this program. Before we begin our session, let us see some of the general market trends in the industry. First, we will try to understand in the industry, in the market, what are the few trends which are going on right now. Number one, the number of students who enrolled for civil engineering in 2025 was around 1.7 lakhs. So this year, around 1.7 lakh students have chosen the field of civil engineering. This shows that there is a large inflow of students in the civil engineering market. Second, 80% of these engineers who pass out every year are unemployable in the market due to lack of skills. So out of the 1.7 lakh students who enter into civil engineering, when they pass out from the college after completing their 4 years of engineering, 80% of these students are unemployable in the market. They are not able to find suitable jobs. The reason for this is the curriculum what we have. It is not as per the industry standards. It is not as per what is required by the industry. Due to lack of skills what is required in the industry, 80% of these students are unemployable in the market. So this is a huge number. Next, we can see civil engineering design software market may see a big move. As all of us know, this is a digitalization age. Everything is moving towards digitalization, is moving towards softwares, is moving towards artificial intelligence. So civil engineering field is not any exception. Slowly, the work which was earlier done manually by hand calculations, by old methods, now they are being implemented by softwares, by new methods, by digital softwares. So for the people who are not aware of these digital softwares, who are not aware of the latest softwares which are available in the market, they will lag behind because this civil engineering design software market is increasing rapidly and more work is being done automatically using these softwares. And the fourth trend, what we can see, the global architecture, engineering, and construction sector to grow at a CAGR of 10.64%. This means that there is a rapid growth of the engineering and construction sector globally and specifically in India. More and more construction is going on as India is a developing country. Lot of construction work is going on and there is lot of demand for civil engineers in the market. But there are few things what you should have. You should have software knowledge. You should have structural knowledge. If you have all these knowledge, you have lot of opportunity in the market. So these are the four important trends what I found out to be very important for all the engineers to understand. There is lot of inflow of the engineers, but many of them are unemployable. There is lot of demand of softwares related to civil engineering in the market, but very few of them are interested or have knowledge of these softwares. And in general, the overall civil engineering sector is seeing a great growth. Here you can see these are the cutouts of the articles. What you can see, the civil engineering students is around 1.72 lakh. 80% of these engineers are unemployable. The software market related to civil engineering is growing rapidly. And here you can see the overall construction industry will grow at a good pace. So this shows that you as a civil engineer are very important in the market only if you have the skills which are required in the market. Now, again, let us understand what is civil engineering. All of us over here are civil engineers. Civil engineering is a branch of engineering that involves designing, constructing, and maintaining infrastructure and structures that are essential for the modern society. There are various branches in civil engineering. We have structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, transportation engineering, environmental engineering, water resource engineering, construction management, and much more. But the main branch of civil engineering and the branch of civil engineering on which we are going to focus in our today's discussion is structural engineering. Let us understand what is structural engineering. Structural engineering is a field of engineering dedicated to the designing and analyzing of structures to ensure the stability, strength, and safety under various loads and conditions. This is the skeleton of your construction. Again, structural engineering is divided into various types depending on the type of material what we use for construction. Either it could be a steel structural engineering where steel is the dominant material, or you could have concrete structural engineering where concrete is your predominant material, or you could also have timber structural engineering where the construction is being done by wood. Then depending on the type of structure, you could have bridge infrastructure engineering, energy infrastructure engineering, or there is also a field called structural health monitoring. Today we are going to focus on steel structural engineering. Structural engineering which deals with steel as a predominant material. Let us see various categories, various type of structures which come under steel structural engineering. The most important factor, the most important type of structure which comes under steel structural engineering are the industrial facilities, pre-engineered buildings. These are huge industries, huge pre-PEBs buildings which are made out of steel. Then you have steel frame for residential buildings. Some of the residential buildings are also made out of steel skeleton, steel structure, steel framing. You have lightning poles, billboard hoarding, advertisement hoardings. The structure of these advertisement hoardings is also made out of steel. You have oil and gas platform assemblies, solar panels supporting structural design, multi-story car parking, temporary structure for infrastructure projects. You have transmission line tower design, pedestrian walkways, and footbridges. These are the few type of structures which are made out of steel. Let us see some of the images to understand what a steel structure looks like. Here you can see these are steel warehouses, steel structures, industrial warehouses, multi-story industrial warehouses. You can also have these kind of steel buildings, multi-story steel buildings, where your basic framing is made out of steel. Then you have these solar panels. The basic structure of solar panel is made out of steel or aluminium. Then we have these huge oil and gas assemblies rigs. The structure is predominantly made out of steel. Then you have transmission tower lines, billboard hoarding, advertisement hoardings. Your walkways, foot over bridges. So these are few examples of steel structures. Okay. Yes. Let us continue. So until now we have discussed various kind of structures which are basically made out of steel. You can see here temporary structures supporting structures, launching girders. When you are constructing a bridge, segmental bridge, you have these launching girders which lift your segments over here, concrete segments, precast concrete segments, and then it is connected by tendons. So this is also a steel structure, a launching girder. Okay, so we discussed until now some of the examples of steel structures. The most famous amongst them is the pre-engineered buildings, steel buildings, the steel warehouses, and some projects where infrastructure is being developed. Now let us understand the four important pillars of steel structural engineer's career. If you want to be a successful steel structural engineer in the market, these are the four skills which you should have. Number one, you should have proper structural conceptual knowledge. All your concepts related to structural engineering should be very clear. Secondly, you should have proper knowledge of the design codes, the codals provision which are used in your country where the structure is being constructed. The knowledge of these codes is very important. Third, you have the structural softwares. Nowadays, we have huge and complex structures. It is not possible to design them manually as you have time constraint as well as the accuracy which is required in these huge structures is very high and you need the use of softwares. So you should have software knowledge. And finally, you should have experience on working on real world projects. Sorry. So these are the four important pillars which you should be strong in if you want to be a successful steel structural engineering. Now let us understand each of these pillars in detail. So what are the structural concepts? Structural concepts deals with your understanding of how load is being applied on the structure, how you can draw free body diagram, what is SFD, what is BMD, what are the reactions which you get from your load applied, what are the type of supports, whether you want to have a pin connection or a weld connection, or whether you want to have a shear connection or a moment connection, what kind of support you should have, whether you should have a pin support, a roller support, or a fixed support. These are some of the basic structural concepts. As a structural engineer, you should be aware, you should have answers for all these questions. Next, design codes. If you have all the knowledge related to structural concepts, but you should also be aware of the design codes specifically in your country. We will discuss from the point of view of India. If you have any project in India and if you want to design that steel structure, you should have knowledge of the codal provisions. In India, we have IS 800 2007. This is the General Construction in Steel Code of Practice. If you want to design any steel structure in India, the design should satisfy this code, IS 800 2007. So as a successful steel structural engineer, you should have proper knowledge of this code. Then you have other codes like IS 875 part 1, 2, 3, 4. This deals with the loading which is being applied. It could be dead load, imposed load, wind load, snow load. And we have IS 1893. This is the code which deals with the criteria for earthquake resistant design. Then we have IS 808. This is another code which deals with the dimensioning of hot rolled members like beams, columns, channels, angle sections. So this the standard material which is available in your country. What are the specifications which that standard material should meet? Those are mentioned in IS 808. The properties, the cross-section properties of the members is mentioned in this code. So if you want to be a successful structural engineer, the knowledge of all these codes is very important. Next, structural software. As mentioned earlier, if you are working on huge projects, complex projects, it is not possible that manually you try to design each and every member by your hand calculation. You will need the help of these softwares which will help you to design these huge complex structures accurately and in a proper way. So you have softwares like AutoCAD, Autodesk Revit, which are drafting softwares. Then you have softwares like ETABS, SAP, SAFE, which are generally used for designing of concrete structures, RCC structures. Then you have softwares like STAAD.PRO, StatiCa, which are generally used for designing of steel structures. StatiCa is a software which is used for designing of connections of these steel structures. You have softwares like RAM, which is again another software which is used for designing of connections. There is a software called MIDAS, which is used for designing of bridges. So knowledge of all these structural softwares is also very important if you want to be a successful structural engineer. Finally, the most important thing is experience. Until and unless you have experience on working on real world projects, you will not be able to be a successful structural engineer. You should understand what are the architectural drawings, how you can read them, what are the inputs you get from the architect, from your client. Then based on those drawings, how you can decide the position of your columns, beams, purlins, how you can decide the preliminary sizes. Then finally, after applying all the loads and analyzing the structure, how you can optimize your steel design. And finally, how you can give the output, give your drawings to your client, to the architect. This will only come after experience. This will only come when you work on real world projects, the actual projects. So now I have a question to all of you. Do you have command over all these four requirements? Do you have good structural conceptual knowledge? Are you very proficient with the design codes? Do you have knowledge of all the design codes? Do you have knowledge of the structural softwares? And do you have experience on working on the real world projects? I want everyone to answer in the comment section and tell me, do you have command on all these four requirements? Please answer in the comment section and let me know. Yes, no, what are your thoughts? Do you have knowledge on all these requirements? Are you a good structural concept? Do you have good structural concepts? Do you have a proper understanding of the Indian codal? Are you aware of these softwares? And do you have experience on working on these projects? I want everyone to answer yes, no, whatever is your answer, you can tell me. Let's see. Some of them have intermediate knowledge. Some of them have good knowledge. Most of you do not have knowledge related to steel structures. Yes, I want everyone to answer. You can share your opinion. Tell me whether you have knowledge of all these 4 points. You can also say yes or no. You can answer in yes or no. Do you have knowledge of structural concepts? Do you have knowledge of the design codes? Do you have knowledge of the structural softwares? And do you have experience on working on these projects? We are speaking specifically related to steel structures. So I want everyone to answer whether you have knowledge on working on steel structures. Okay, so most of you are saying yes, most of you are saying no, some of them have partial knowledge. Yes, no, 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 most of you are saying yes, no, no, okay. Okay, now let's see the next thing. All of us over here are civil engineers. Now let us understand what type of engineers we are. Most of you might be RCC structural consultants who are working in the industry, but predominantly they work only on concrete structures, RCC structures. Some of you can also be construction site engineers who are working on construction site as a planning engineer or execution engineer or a site engineer. Some of you can also be students who are working, who are maybe studying in their third, fourth year, or maybe who are studying in their masters. And many of you can also be job aspirants who have completed their education and now they are looking for a good opportunity to work in the market, who want a good job. So you require certain skills. I want everyone to let me know where do you belong. You can write 1, 2, 3 or 4. Are you a structural consultant, RCC structural consultant? Or are you an engineering student who is still studying? Are you a construction site worker, construction site engineer? Or are you a job aspirant? I want everyone to answer. You can just tell 1, 2, 3 or 4. Yes, some of you are 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Many of you are 1. Yes. I want everyone to answer. Yes, you can mention whether you are RCC structural consultant or an engineering student or a job aspirant or you are a construction site engineer. Yes, everyone should answer quickly. Okay, okay. I'm getting few good inputs. Yes. Now we have understood most of you are structural consultants, some of you are engineering students, some of you are construction site engineers, and some of you are job aspirants. Even though if you do not have knowledge of structural concepts, you do not have knowledge of design codes, you do not have knowledge of structural softwares, and you do not have experience on working on real world project, we have a solution for you. STAAD.PRO, Idea Statica and Excel. Design of steel structures with connection. This is a full-fledged program which StructSoft Center is offering to all of you. Today is the demo session, 9th of November 2025. Today we are going to understand regarding this course, and this course will begin live on 13th of November from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. in the morning from 8 to 9:30 a.m. So this will be a full-fledged course where we will discuss everything from the very beginning. This course is available for all the engineers who are working in maybe RCC consultants. Also, it is available for the engineers who might be job aspirants, who might be students, or even if you are working on construction site and if you don't have knowledge of any of these softwares. We will start from the very beginning. We will start from the very basics, and all the things will be covered starting from the beginners level, the basics. We will assume that you are just a civil engineer with basic knowledge, and slowly we will start understanding, we will start studying all the important things from the very basics, and slowly we will move towards the intermediate and finally the advanced level. After completing this course, all of you will be confident in designing any kind of steel structure. This will be a 2-month course where from Monday to Friday we will be discussing on these kind of structures, starting from the very basic to the advanced level from morning 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. So this will be a comprehensive course, designing of steel beams, columns, frames. We will also design connections using Idea Statica software. Many of you might not be aware of this software, but I will be teaching you everything from the very beginning. I will be also sharing with you some of the advanced Excel sheets. We will also be working on 4 real world projects: a steel warehouse, a PEB warehouse, a G+5 steel building, a truss and trestle assembly. So all these courses, all these topics will be covered in detail. So for all these students who are interested in this, I want everyone who is present in this session, kindly write your name and your mobile number in the comment section. Name and your contact number in the comment section so that the management can connect with you. I request everyone to mention your name and contact number in the comment section. So let us understand in detail what this course will cover. This course is divided properly into 3 levels. We have the beginners level, then we have the intermediate level, and then we will move towards the advanced level. In the beginners level, we will be concentrating on the analysis of steel structures. For the people who are unaware of the structural concepts, who are unaware of the software, for them we will slowly start building the concepts, we will start building the codal requirements. So the beginners level will be focusing on analysis. So let us see what we will cover in this beginners level. Again, the beginners level is divided into 5 topics. First is introduction to steel structures, where we will understand what is a steel structure, why it is used as a structural member, the benefits of steel. Then we will understand the fundamentals of structural analysis, some of the structural concepts like shear force diagram, bending moment diagram, the reactions from your structure. Then we will start towards modeling. We will be modeling our steel structures in STAAD.PRO. The basics of STAAD.PRO will be taught to you. We will start from the very beginning. We will be modeling the structures first in 2 dimension and then slowly we will move towards 3 dimension. We will be applying loadings over it, static analysis and then dynamic analysis. Let us see what is this. Starting from the structural member, steel as a structural member. We will be understanding from the very basics the properties of steel, this stress strain graph, what are the advantages of steel, what are the various grades of steel which are available, and how you can use steel as a structural member. Then we will move towards structural analysis, understand how force is applied on your member, how moment is applied, what is a free body diagram, how you can convert your actual structure into a model in STAAD.PRO, what are various kind of supports, and how you will get reactions from those supports. All these basic conceptual things we will be covering. Shear force diagram, bending moment diagram, and all. Then we will move towards STAAD.PRO, the process of analytical modeling in STAAD.PRO. From the very beginning, for all the people who are unaware of the software of STAAD.PRO, we will start from preparing the geometry, applying the properties, applying the material, applying certain specifications over them, deciding the type of support, applying various kind of loadings on your structure, then analyzing the structure for the given loading, then designing it based on the design code, and then finally seeing the results. So all these stepwise steps, we will be moving one step, then the next step, then the third step, slowly understanding all the concepts. Static and dynamic analysis in STAAD.PRO. We will start from 2D analysis, we will be applying loading over it, and then we will be checking the reactions. We will be validating the software with the manual calculations. So we will see how the manual calculations, how the hand calculations match perfectly with the STAAD.PRO software. Once we understand that, we will be confident in using the software. We will be applying loads like dead load, live load, which are generally categorized as gravity load on your structure. We will be also applying loads like wind load and earthquake load, which are categorized as dynamic loads on your structure. I will be also sharing with you some of the advanced Excel sheets. These are the Excel sheets which I have prepared by myself and my team, where these Excel sheets will be very useful for you when you want to apply loading on your structure, when you want to apply the load combinations on your structure, when you want to apply certain design parameters. So this Excel will be very useful and all these Excels will be shared with you. After completing the beginners level, all of you will be confident in designing, in modeling any kind of steel structure in STAAD.PRO and applying all loads over it. Once we complete the beginners level, we will move towards intermediate level. Intermediate level will specifically focus on designing of the structure, understanding the codal provision, designing of the connections. In beginners level, we dealt with analysis, and in the intermediate level, we will deal with the design. So this is a proper systematic way in which we will progress. Let us see what the intermediate level would be covering. First, we will understand the codal provision IS 800, IS 875, IS 1893. All these codes we will understand in detail. We will validate the manual calculation, the hand calculation for design of beams and columns with the STAAD.PRO calculations. We will be using StatiCa software for designing of the connections. And finally, we will also understand how you can evaluate the overall structural behavior. Let us understand them step by step. Design process in STAAD.PRO. This thing we will deal in detail. Whenever you are designing any kind of member in STAAD.PRO, first it will check its slenderness, then it will classify the member based on section classification, then the member will be checked for tension, then compression, then shear, then bending, and finally the combination of all these forces will be checked. In this way, STAAD.PRO designs each and every member individually. This is the brain of your STAAD.PRO. This is the back processing which happens in STAAD.PRO. So we will not just understand how to use this software, how you can just manage the software, how to click buttons. This is not just a software learning course. We will understand as a structural engineer what happens behind the software, how the software gives you the answer, what are the things which software does. So you should be able to understand what is being done by the software. So all these things we will be understanding in detail and we will validate these results with our manual calculation. Many of these courses only teach you how you can click on the buttons and design any kind of structure. But this is not at all important. The most important thing is to understand how the software behaves, how the things are being done. Design parameters in STAAD.PRO. So STAAD.PRO is just a tool. It is just a software. If you give some wrong input to it, you will get the wrong output. The most important thing is to understand what are the inputs what you give to the software. So if you want to design your structure based on the Indian codes, there are certain design parameters which you should mention to the software. And 90% of the engineers are unaware of these design parameters. They don't know how these design parameters act. I will be teaching you each and every design parameter in detail. Here I have just listed a few of them, but in our course we will be discussing each and every design parameter related to the Indian code IS 800 and we will understand the importance of each and every design parameter. Then section wizard. This is the tool which makes STAAD.PRO stand out in the market. This is the very important tool, section wizard. Now you can see whenever you are designing any kind of steel structure, most of the members are not general member. You might be having combination. For example, here you can see there are four angle sections which are connected. In the above figure, you can see you have I section plus channel section. Here you have this circular section plus I section. Here you can see you have I section plus top and bottom plate. You have I section and a channel. So this is a tool in STAAD.PRO called as section wizard. This tool is capable of designing your structure also for these complex custom modified members. So we will understand how you can prepare these custom modified members and we will be designing our structure for these member. Not only the standard member but also these complex member which we will be preparing by using section wizard. So this tool also I will be teaching you in detail and I will also be explaining you when you can use this custom modified members. After designing of the members, after designing of the structure, the next topic is the designing of the connection. In STAAD.PRO, only the member will be designed, but you also have to design the connection between two members. For example, you have a column and you have a beam. You also need to design the connection between them. You could have a welded connection or a bolted connection. You could have a shear connection or a moment connection. So all these things I will be teaching you in detail in this software called StatiCa. We also have another software called RAM connection. but that software is not very user friendly. And nowadays in the market, the software Idea Statica is becoming more and more popular. And all of the MNCs are now using this software Idea Statica. It is very user friendly and it has a lot of advantage over RAM. So I will be teaching you this software in detail, which will help you to apply for any kind of jobs in all the multinational companies. I will be explaining you all the conceptual things, whether you have to design a pin connection or a fixed connection, how you can design a shear connection, how you can design a moment connection. So all these topics will be covered. These bracings, you can see this is the interface of Idea Statica. Here you can see shear and moment connections, all the difference we will be understanding in detail, whether you can go for bolted connection or welded connection, whether you can go for cleat angle, a moment connection. So these topics we will be understanding in detail. Roughly, let me tell you the difference. Here you can see on the left hand side you have a shear connection where only your web is connected to the column. Here also you can see only the web of the beam is connected to the primary beam. Your flange is free. So this is the example of shear connection where your moment will not be transferred to the column or the beam. But in the second example, here you can see your web is connected as well as the bottom flange is connected. Here you can see top and bottom flange is connected. So these are the examples of moment connection where your flange movement is not allowed and the moment which is generated that will be transferred to your column. So all these things we will be dealing in very detail and understand when you can use moment connection, when you can use shear connection, what is the difference, what are the advantage, what are the disadvantage, all these topics we will be covering. When to go for welded connection, when to go for bolted connection. Next thing, base plate. Many of you may not be understanding the difference between the pin connection and the fixed connection. You can see in the left hand side, the bolts, the anchors, they are near the web and inside the flange. And in the second example, you can see the anchors are outside the flange in this way. So the first one, the left hand side is the example of a pin connection where there will not be any moment which will be transferred to your footing. But in the second example, you can see the anchors are outside the column. In this case, the bending moments will be transferred to your footing. We will understand how all these things work. After completing the beginner's level and intermediate level, you will have all the knowledge and you will be capable of designing any kind of structure. In the beginner's level and intermediate level, we will be completing everything related to analysis and design of steel structure and design of its connection. We will understand STAAD.PRO, Idea Statica and Excel, everything in detail. And finally, the advanced level. This is only there so that we can implement whatever we have studied in the beginner's level and intermediate level. Here we will be working on real world projects. The actual projects which are constructed, for them we will be working and I will show you how you can proceed. We will be working on 4 projects: analysis and design of steel warehouse, analysis and design of TD structure, analysis and design of G+6 steel building, and summary of them. And I will also be covering one truss and trestle assembly course. This is my first project, design of steel warehouse. I will be explaining you how you can design this kind of structure. All these steps which are important, I will be teaching you one by one, all the steps. You can see this is the drawing which we receive from architect, how you can read the drawing, how you can prepare the model. Once you prepare the model, how you can prepare the drawings, how you can design them, how you can design the connections between the column and the rafter, how you can design the drawings. All these things I will be sharing with all of you. Here you can see a few pictures. The second project will be G+5 steel building. Yes, gantry will be covered in this thing. One more thing what we will be covering is how you can design your steel warehouse for crane load, gantry load. That also thing we will be covering. Okay, for a steel building, you can see over here, we will be designing this steel building, G+6 steel building in your STAAD.PRO, preparing its drawing, designing its connection. G plus, now you have analysis and design of PEB warehouse, PEB structure. I will be explaining you what is PEB structure, how you can use tapered sections, and in this we will be also modeling the gantry crane, and how you can also be applying load of this moving crane on your structure, and how you can design this crane. This also topic we will be covering. I will be sharing with you the drawings related to the document related which we get from the architects, the drawings from the architects, how you can be modeling them. These are the advanced Excel sheets I will be sharing with you, how you can apply dead load, live load, wind load, earthquake load, and the load combinations directly from our advanced Excel. Then we will move towards connection. And finally, analysis and design of truss and trestle assembly. This is one of the projects where we have designed trusses and trestle for a railway project. You can see this is the truss and certain trestles. This is the drawing. This was the permanent structure which was constructed, and for this construction we had given below this green part which is called the temporary structure for the erection of the permanent structure. So we have designed this temporary structure. So this was a very big project, but we will cover a part of it. Here you can see this is the drawing and this is the actual execution. So we will understand how you can design this truss and trestles. A part of this project will also be covered. Here you can see this thing we will be designing. So I've explained you what are the things what we are going to cover in this course, and what are the important topic what we will be covering. Everything will be covered starting from steel warehouse, PEB warehouse, G+6 steel building, how you can design your warehouse for gantry loading, for crane loading, how you can apply wind load, how you can apply earthquake load, how you can design the connections using idea StatiCa. So these topics will be covered, and the course will begin from 13th of November, 8 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. from Monday to Friday. The duration of this course will be around 2 months. So what are some of the features of this course? Live classes will be conducted on all the weekdays from Monday to Friday. Recording will be available to all of you for lifetime. You can have interaction with me during our live sessions. We will have doubt clearing sessions. You can ask your doubts. I will be answering all your doubts. All my real experience I will be sharing with you. This is an ISO certified course, and you will get all the alert and notifications with you. The training fees is 6,999. For all of you who want to enroll, you can write your name and contact number in the comment section so that the management will connect with all of you. Okay, for enrollment, please click on the link in the chat box. Now a special offer for all of you who are present right now. If you join this course right now until this webinar, until the end of this session, for all of you, we have a special price of 6,499. If you join now, you can scan this QR code and join the course now. For you, this is the special price. After this, the regular training fee would be 6,999. So this is a limited offer for first 10 students who will be enrolling in this course. All the study material will be provided to you. I will be providing all the STAAD.PRO files, idea StatiCa files. I will be providing with you all the Excels, all the drawings. So all the study material will be provided to all of you.